Welcome to ClickFunnels Radio, the podcast that brings you the latest strategies, insights, and success stories from online marketers just like you who utilize funnels to grow their business. Our mission is simple: to help you unleash the true potential of your online business by harnessing the power of funnels. Join us every week as we bring you exclusive interviews and thought-provoking discussions that will revolutionize the way you approach online marketing. Here are your hosts, Laura Demetrius and Chris Cameron.
Well, welcome back to ClickFunnels Radio. My name is Chris Cameron, and my host here with me, as always, is Laura Demetrius. Laura, what is up? How are you today?
I'm doing great. How are you guys doing?
Doing awesome. Hey, I'm very, very excited about our guest today. Our guest, we released just yesterday. When this is going to air, I don't know, but yesterday in real time, we just released that this man is going to be speaking at Funnel Hacking Live in September in Orlando. So welcome out. I just asked him too. It's Dominick Pirone. And I said, hey, is it Pirone or is it Pirone? And how did you reply?
It's a both. Depends on where you're from. Italy is Pirone. Yeah, exactly. The United States, Pirone.
Or if you're drinking beer, right?
That's awesome.
Such an honor to be with you guys today. Super.
Yeah, we're excited to have you, and so excited to have you at Funnel Hacking Live.
And we're in the safe zone. We know that this is coming out after some really, really big news today, so it's pretty exciting.
Exactly.
Yes, I know. I've had to keep this a secret for 2 weeks, which has been unbearable, but I made it go right, and now the news is out, and this is just, a very, very surreal experience.
Are you good at keeping secrets?
No, terrible. I'm just like Russell.
Gotcha.
I talk a mile a minute, and I'm just, like we give all the secrets away.
Well, this is great. You know, what's funny? For a long time with ClickFunnels, I used to go to a bunch of different events, and the number one question, well, I'd say probably the second question. The number one question is, what is a ClickFunnel? Okay. The number two question was like, yeah, but will it work for my business? And then that always launches a series of questions. And I think you are like the answer to this will work for any business. Yeah. Like, how would somebody think, okay, how online do I do funnels for DJs? It's just so crazy. And I noticed there's a couple really fun things like on your website. Your website is createhackers.com. Is that right?
Yes. That's our membership/software hybrid.
Yeah. So talk to me about why you thought, okay, I'm a DJ or I have been a DJ and here's some of the problems that I've faced and I can help other people, but using funnels. What was that journey like?
Yeah. So long story short, I read 4-Hour Workweek many years ago.
Classic.
And I was like, I want to create a digital course, and I want to, be on a beach working 4-hour work weeks and just raking in the money, right?
Yeah.
The dream.
I think that's a very common, that's where a lot of people started, right? Is kind of being sold on this idea of being able to sell knowledge while you're sleeping, right? However, my journey was not very smooth. And luckily in 2018 is when I found Russell, because I was struggling. I was riding the struggle bus. I was trying to sell courses to people. And I realized, I need to niche down, And right around that time, I basically was introduced to DJing, and I started DJing weddings for my brother, Tommy Pirone. What's up? Tommy introduced me to this DJing world. I had so much fun. At the time, I was very, very broke. And DJing really changed me because it introduced me to this concept that, hey, you could work for a day and make at least $1,000, Dominic. This was new to me because I was so broke. I would make, just working the dead end jobs, marketing jobs my whole life. And from there, I just wanted to teach people what we were doing. Me and Tommy were, the top DJ company in our area. And so we became more than just making money while I'm sleeping, quote unquote. I wanted to help other DJs up-level what the experience factor that they were bringing to their clients, because wedding DJs have a very, very bad name. Everyone thinks they're corny. You kind of think wedding DJ equals not a real job. And so I ended up linking up with one of the influencers, one of my Dream 100 in the DJ space, Joe Bun. Shout out to Joe. And we created the DJ's Vault. And that was really our first big success. And Joe's story is incredible because he he tried the other real boy jobs, right? The real guy jobs, right? He tried real estate. He tried selling shirts. He tried, all these real people jobs. He hated every one of them. And now here he is, I think he just turned 50, 51. First of all, he looks great. He's very presentable. He has a huge DJ company, and he's living his best life doing what he loves, which is his passion, which is music. And so, sorry, that was a very long answer, but that's kind of where everything started. And that is, fun. When you talk about funnels, the first thing that we did was just get a lot of people on webinars, right, and challenges, and start to change their ideas of what is possible.
Yeah.
You don't have to work a UPS job, right? That's not that doesn't have to be your real grown-up job, right? You can make money doing what you freaking love, and so that's our big messaging around the DJ's Vault. And then later on, Crate Hackers came to be.
With Crate Hackers, maybe people don't understand. And as I went to your website, and I followed you along, I was like, man, Crate Hackers, why? Is that like an industry term for DJs? What's a crate?
So a crate, if you think back to the good old days, DJs used to carry their records around in crates, milk crates. Exactly. So now we don't do that anymore. I mean, some DJs do, but mostly DJs don't do that. But that concept, everything's in the digital world now, right? We have everything is MP3.
I love that terminology still exists, even for digital files. Pretty cool.
Oh, because it's one of those things where crates look very different these days. It's literally just a folder of music, in your DJ software. Where you, like, let's say I'm doing your wedding, Laura, right? I'm going to have a crate prepared with all the songs that I'm about to rip at your wedding, right?
Yeah.
And it's a preparation thing. Like when you go to a wedding with fire crates, that means you're about to destroy that wedding. You're fully prepared.
I love that industry jargon and that it still exists today. Like you're not just going to call it a folder. It's a crate.
Yeah, it's a fire crate. It's a banger.
That's pretty cool.
Filled with bangers. That's another, jargon we like to use. But
love it.
But basically, we live in this digital world where, for DJs, there's literally 120,000 songs that are uploaded to Spotify every single day. And
120,000 a day.
Every single day. And with the rise of AI, it's about to go into what I think is hundreds of thousands or millions a day.
Yeah.
Because it's so easy to make songs. And it's put DJs in a huge predicament because we've never had to keep on top of so much music at one time. You're literally getting bombarded from, TikTok, Billboard, YouTube. It's very hard. It's never been harder to stay on top of what is hot. And
even like TV shows and film, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Today this one song or these 5 songs are viral. Tomorrow it's something different.
Yeah.
So as a DJ, imagine me, a 37-year-old man, needs to go to a wedding or my worst nightmare, a prom. What the hell are these kids listening to?
Right.
Right? That's where Crate Hackers comes into play.
Oh, you use this term on your website called Serato face. What is that?
Yes, please explain.
So, Serato face is the face that a DJ makes when he's looking at his computer for the next song, like frantically searching for the next song, because a song is only, 3 to 4 minutes, right? And as a DJ, if you don't have your next song ready to go to mix into, you're about to destroy this person's wedding.
Is this similar to RBF?
Yes.
Exactly. Okay, all right. I'm not going to have to explain that. RBF though.
Yes. Yeah, we did. So we did a whole ad about resting Serato face, by the way.
How big of a party foul is it if there's like a gap between songs?
Major, dude. Major. You do not do that.
So it's not a play though, right? You want to make sure that based on the vibe and everything else they're doing, that's like a lot of work for a DJ then.
Yeah, it's a lot of work. The other thing, and this is how, the industry, just the way the industries are changing for everybody, the DJ industry especially, because these days when you go to a party, people only want to hear 1 to 2 minutes of a song at most, generally, right? It's just we call it quick mixing, right? And so the only way you can quick mix for a DJ and to keep going song after song after song, and which is kind of a newer thing in the last decade, because of shrinking attention spans and all.
They don't want 7 minutes of rapper's delight.
We want instant gratification. We want the next vibe.
You want the next vibe. And also because music is so crazy these days, you kind of only need to play 1 minute of, Ice Spice and then go back into, something from the 70s or 80s or 90s to make everyone feel included. You know, that's my assessment, at least. Like music is it's quite varied, and people are listening to, people are still, the older folks are still listening to the radio. Newer people are listening to, Spotify. They have their own playlist. There's no like single source of music that everyone is listening to. So anyway,
I love how niche this is.
It's so
like
niche.
Dominick, you found like this blue ocean that nobody's really thinking about. And so you come in with a funnel and show them how to overcome some of this, fatigue or Serato face or whatever, and help them be better DJs using your software with funnels.
Correct. And I want to give a big shout out to, because it's not just me who made this go right. It's Aaron Traylor, Joe Bun, and Glenn Rinda, our programmer. But Aaron Traylor, one of my best friends, they're all my best friends, but Aaron had this insight that the future of music is not, DJs are some of the only groups that still have records. Some have CDs, don't ask me why. But a lot of us still have MP3s. And we're about to go into this full-on streaming world, and Aaron was the first guy to really hit that home into the DJs' noggins, and it was met with a lot of resistance, Sometimes, this is one big, takeaway, I would say, is sometimes your new opportunity is going to be met with resistance, but it's also going to be met with welcome arms from the super fans.
Yeah, I love it.
Perspective. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
I'm a little bit curious because you mentioned that when you got started in this, when you started learning more about entrepreneurship, you also were familiarizing yourself with the DJ industry, and you talked about 4-hour work week, which most of us know and love.
Yeah.
You went into something that requires, sometimes late hours and a lot of prep and, actual labor of being in a physical place to be a DJ.
Yes.
How did you kind of cross that? I want to not have to work every single night, late nights, and turn it into a successful online business.
Yeah. So just diving into Russell's.com secrets and then Expert Secrets, and then the new version of Expert Secrets. I've been connected to him for a very long time. And then, I went to my first funnel hacking live in 2019. And funny story is I was DJing weddings, right? So I had a wedding on Saturday. And also I was very broke at the time. And so really I could only go to one day of my first funnel hacking live, which was 2019. And
you flew out to Nashville for one day.
I drove to Nashville. Luckily, us in Atlanta, we can do that.
Gotcha.
3.5 hour drive, 4 hour drive.
Still.
But yeah, I had to drive either late that night after my wedding was done or very early in the morning.
Oh my goodness.
And I went for Saturday, and guess what? Still 1000% worth it. 100%. I found my family, and more importantly, it made me realize what we had going. I had already built up a little traction with our online programs, but being there and seeing Russell talk about this stuff, it was like, dude, I'm taking this full, we're going to full send this. We're going to explode this thing, right? And that was right before major expansion in our membership. Yeah. So at the time we had a couple hundred members, I would say. And then that first year, 2019, 1,000 members. 2020 came along, totally destroyed the wedding market, first of all. Totally destroyed basically everything about DJs. Everybody's going, everybody's trapped in their house.
Everybody's canceling or postponing weddings.
Yeah.
Exactly. And a lot of DJs are torn because they have to go get those real world jobs that all of us hate, right? Because we all just want to be DJs, most of us. And do music, do what we love, right? And so I think my life is over, to be honest. We had just started the DJ's Vault, which was our first membership, and that was all about the business side of things, right? But the business side of things suddenly evaporated. Yeah. Right? And so in 2020, I did Aaron basically we had a lot of time on our hands. Aaron Trailer reached out to Joe Bun, and Joe and I, Joe had that first membership, and Aaron was just a guest on this membership, but he was a super fan. And the super fan comes on to Joe's show for the DJ's Vault during 2020, worst year ever. And we saw this huge like pop of viewers. Like a lot of our members were really interested in this topic. It was called the one playlist to rule them all. And it was kind of like our first indicator that our people are really into this. And so as the story goes, Joe was like, hey, Dom, Aaron wants to sell this membership thing for $5 a month. And it's called the Perfect DJ Playlist. And I was like, oh, I don't think that's going to work, right? I didn't like the name at the time. This is pre-Crate Hackers. So I did the thing that I learned, which has changed my business and I'll always do, and is one of the things that I see is missing in a lot of people's online businesses. I surveyed our audience. I didn't think it was a good idea. To be perfectly honest with you, I thought Perfect DJ Playlist sounds boring and sounds stupid, honestly.
Okay.
But I was given this task to kind of launch it, right? So I surveyed our audience to see, and it turns out music organization was a huge problem. And that was like our first kind of survey that we did within our group.
Hold on, Tom, real quick.
Yes,
this is what's so cool and I love.
Yes.
Is so many things like from what Russell teaches, like, hey, your opinion doesn't matter. Like you think that's not a good idea. But you had the foresight to go, oh, well, maybe I'm not the like.
Just ask.
Maybe I'm not the opinion that matters, and
which
so
I'm not. I'm
surveying.
Still, at the time I was still 4 years deep into DJing. Like I know that I'm a beginner, right? And so so I was like, well, a lot of people were on this members only webinar, to see Aaron and Joe talk about this subject. So that was a good sign. So that's why, I was like, let me just survey and see. And also I surveyed because I was funnel trained, I was ad trained. And what I learned is if you do the proper survey, they will give you every single piece of copywriting that you need for your webinar script, your webinar landing page, your ads. Everything will come out of those surveys. And I have a different way of talking about surveys because surveys are done so poorly, in my opinion. if we could kind of dive into that, because this is important to me. I really want to bring people's. I really would like for people to use these cheat codes, and they're called. It's a deep dive survey, but I want to kind of rename it, and I want to call it. The way I look at it is a vent session.
Oh, I love that.
So one of the big insights that I got from Steve Larson and Russell is, if your current audience is not frustrated enough about this thing or about this problem or this struggle, this challenge, it's going to be very hard to sell them, to be honest.
Yeah.
So with a vent session, think about a deep dive survey as a vent session. You want your people to vent about a particular topic. And when they do, especially your super fans, you will get absolute gold, diamonds, platinum.
Oh, that's great insight.
Thank you.
That's so good.
It's I've been trying to kind of redefine the survey because as soon as I say survey, people's eyes kind of gloss over. But I have to give credit where credit is due. The Russell talks about doing kind of like survey funnels. Mm-hmm. Ryan LeVay has the incredible book called Ask, where I really had that first insight about deep dive surveys. But I want to take it a step further and kind of get people to think about it as a vent session, because I think it just helps you understand how to put your surveys together so that they're fun, they're conversational, they're open-ended questions, a lot of open-ended questions. You really find out who's in your audience. You segment your audience, and then you find out about their external challenges, their internal struggles, and their current frustrations with the current vehicle. Just ask them. You're getting
the right feedback, not just a bunch of crap that you have to sift through. Like you are getting the problem so that you know how to answer it for the customer. That's amazing.
I cannot say enough how much this is a cheat code. I probably shouldn't be telling anybody about this, but whoever's listening to this, first of all, thank you for listening to my episode. You're awesome. Second of all, anybody that is coming to Funnel Hacking Live to see me speak, I'm going to give you like an awesome bonus, but I
can't wait.
Well, we could even go into that right now. So what you're going to do is, are you going to talk about diving into these surveys at Funnel Hacking Live?
100%. Yes.
Oh, this is going to be good. People love permission to bellyache, right? Everybody's so worried about doing it.
Exactly.
You know, I heard Robbie Summers say, and I don't know if he got it from somebody else. He says, listen, nobody, and a lot of people know Robbie from our team. He says, nobody goes and leaves a review for a gallon of milk. You go in, if everything's good, it's great. But when you say, no, I want to know what your pain is. I don't want to know what your struggle is. Now you have, like you said, unlocked everything. Give them permission to bellyache. This is great.
Exactly. And the other thing that that I'm really going to hit home in my speaker bonus and on stage is just the concept of building a data flywheel.
Okay.
And what I mean by that is your data is going to power your whole business. At least it should be, right? First of all, we need to own our own data. We need to stop having the big tech companies own our data. Mm-hmm. And more so than a list, we need to have a database. So name and email is good. But I want to really drive home at Funnel Hacking Live and in the future. Better than a list, name and emails, is a database. Name, email, segmented. I also know their external challenges, their internal struggles, their hopes, dreams, and desires, their big goals. If I have all of those things, doing ads is super easy, to be honest with you. Getting people to sign up for a webinar or a challenge, very easy. We take all the guesswork out of everything, and it's all because of Event Session and Data Flywheel. We're also very, very in tune with our members. Every week we go on to Zooms with our members, and again, these are our super fans. They're future forward, new opportunity loving people, right? So they tell us exactly what they want. It's the ultimate cheat code. We know what their struggles are. We also know why they're leaving Crate Hackers, because cancellations happen. Mm-hmm. We survey them. We let them vent. I even, in our cancellation survey, Chris and Laura, I asked them, why are you leaving? Please tell me more about that. Vent about that. And how would you solve this problem if you were us?
Oh, that's so good.
Interesting. So even if you can't change their minds, at least you're fixing future problems, right?
Oh,
yeah, I'm like, hey, if you're going to complain, how would you fix it? And also,
I love that.
To fix future problems. So
yeah, really cool. Okay, I want to go back to something real quick because you kind of talked about how you're letting some cats out of the bag and maybe you're sharing things that you shouldn't be sharing, which I think is funny because I imagine that you in this industry probably own a decent size, a decent bite of the market share being a DJ with an online business.
Yeah.
Talk a little bit about what that's like and why you're using funnels or how you're seeing funnels be successful in what you're building.
Yeah. So, well, first we couldn't turn it off if we wanted to, just like our funnels are working so good, thanks to ClickFunnels and all the knowledge that we've gotten and the ongoing support from the community. I was in 2CCX. I'm in Inner Circle now. Before that, I would just read the books and go to every FHL and just kind of surround myself with as many people as possible. But we absolutely live and die by workshops or webinars. The whole dramatic demonstration concept, right? 3-day challenges have totally changed our lives. And
so you enjoy teaching?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. And me and Aaron and Joe and Glenn, it's a group effort. So Aaron is the main educator. Joe is kind of he does the stack at the end. I just kind of manage our ads and our funnels. And, Glenn is there listening to our audience, building exactly what they want, listening to our super fans, programming. And fun fact, we started Crate Hackers in June of 2020, literally in the heart of the pandemic. Glenn was actually in that first round of membership buyers. When we first started Crate Hackers, it was not a software. It was every month we're going to send you a list of songs via PDF, right? It was very, very, I will say, bare bones. And because we were so in tune with our membership and we were doing these weekly, Zooms, Glenn came out of he was part of the kind of rose to the top. And he was like, hey, I think I could program a solution for you. Almost like a Russell and a Todd story, which is So I cannot say enough about memberships. I mean, we have literally over 7,000 subscriptions at this point.
Wow.
We started, I started when I created my first membership in 2018, I had 30 members. But even a group, and I talked about this in Mexico, even a group of 30 members is a huge accomplishment. And it gives you the power to start inviting your Dream 100 to start coming into your group and speaking. Mm. And that's how I met Joe. And with Joe, who talked to my little baby group of 30 members, Joe was like one of the leading industry experts in the wedding DJ space. And then with him, we created the 1,000-person membership. And then we kept inviting people in. And then we found Aaron, and that's our 5,000-person membership.
That's the who, not how, right?
It is, exactly.
Yeah.
7,000. So these people are all, you mentioned membership. A big part of what Russell teaches right now is the linchpin.
Yes.
And one of those things is continuity. Is this something that people are paying monthly, Dom?
Oh, yes. So instead of charging $5 a month, the way, Aaron wanted to, we now charge $30 a month. And you can, do the math on that, right?
Everybody get your calculators out.
And it's a full-blown software, right? I mean, people can go in there and,
It's a full-blown software. And even our other memberships are $30 a month. Now, I'm not saying that you should price yours at $30 a month. However, one thing that I've found is, having a lower priced membership makes it very easy for people to just kind of give it a try and give it a sign up. So that's one thing that I will say about a low-cost membership. You should absolutely listen to Russell about pricing your membership correctly. But for us, I don't have to do a webinar or a workshop to drive people into our funnel. We have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of ads, thanks to our deep dive surveys, our vent sessions. Every time want to write a new ad, I just look at what my people are saying. Oh, they just gave me the idea for Serato Face. They just gave me the idea for music hoarding, right? We have a whole series of ads about music hoarding, right?
Well, like somebody wants to keep playing Call Me Maybe or something, or what?
Exactly. Right. Yeah, we can throw rocks at that. We throw rocks at, all the fun things that are in the industry, drunk people coming up to you and requesting, demanding Call Me Maybe by, Carly Rae Jepsen, or Bad Bunny is a big one.
Oh,
Play
that's
Bad
hilarious.
Bunny right now.
Oh, that's hilarious. Well, this is fascinating to me. I mean, from you attending one day in 2019, FHL, to then coming back in 2020, to 2021.
2021 was a big year for me. I paid off my again, I was in very bad financial conditions. So I had a SUV with a 22% horrible loan interest rate. So 2021, I paid that sucker off. I know.
Yes, sir.
Our eyes are about to bulge out of our head.
Wow.
And now,
And in the midst of a pandemic as a DJ, impressive.
Yeah, that's
you
great.
Really turned it around.
Oh my gosh.
So now we're moving into 2022. Okay. And now you have been chosen to speak at Funnel Hacking Live 2023, which we couldn't be more excited about.
Yeah.
You teased a little bit about a speaker bonus that you're going to be providing for people who buy tickets to Funnel Hacking Live. So there's still a chance. Go to funnelhackinglive.com. Will you tell us a little bit about your speaker bonus and what you're offering?
Absolutely. So I'm going to dive into this vent session concept with you. I'm even going to show you some examples of how to put your own vent session questions together. And then I'm going to go one step further, because remember, I started as an ad guy and turned into a funnel guy. And now I have kind of this, I have a very interesting perspective because I have a holistic view of the entire funnel, right? And so I'm going to teach you also inside this bonus how we're taking our survey data, our vent session data, our data flywheel, if you will, our database, and how we're turning that and using AI to create some really creative ads that are getting insane amounts of clicks. And then I'm going to also teach you how you can then turn that ad into a video ad and break the internet. Hopefully that'll...
You heard it here first, folks. There's a really great speaker bonus coming up. Funnel Hacking.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can't wait
I
for
love
that.
So just to like tease that out a little bit more, I'm working with a friend of mine right now. We surveyed her audience and we found out a lot of women are posting for their coaching business, and they feel like the post goes nowhere. They feel invisible.
Mm.
So I'm actually going to do this whole ad series with that feeling of invisibility. And then we just did another ad where we literally used Midjourney and some crazy AI tools to make ad images. We made the women blue, like they're blue, and blue faced women. And the hook is, do you feel like you've been posting to social media till you're blue in the face?
Oh, yeah.
Right? And so I'll teach you guys how we're doing that and show
Clever.
you a little bit inside that. So yeah, it's fun.
You know, and if there's one thing I can say about this, not only do you love DJing, but like I can tell that talking about the marketing side of things really gets you fired up. I can see the joy in your face when you talk about these things.
It's my number one passion. And before DJing, there was marketing, and there always will be. And this is what I'm most passionate about. And I'm very, very excited to inspire young Dom from 4 years ago, whoever's there in those chairs who made it go right, because it's not always easy to get to Funnel Hacking Live, but whoever's there, I want to inspire those people and just let them know that they can do it. Even if their dreams are crazy right now, you can do it. There's nothing special about me. I have no superpowers. I just read a lot of books, specifically Russell's books, many, many times, and then some others here and there. So
yeah,
well, we
could
in
a couple of years.
We could talk to you forever about this, but I think this is a good place to kind of keep people teased and go get your tickets to Funnel Hacking Live, because we have so many other speakers too that were just announced that we're going to have here on ClickFunnels Radio. And Dom, you are the man. Appreciate and we're excited to see you at Funnel Hacking Live. Hey, if people want to go find you, obviously createhackers.com, where else should they go follow you? Yeah, so they could just go to my Instagram, Break the Damn Internet. Love it.
That's what I stand for. That's what DM me. I'm happy to help.
Well, hey, we're excited to see you at Funnel Hacking Live, and also all you listeners and young Dom out there, we're excited for you to come to Funnel Hacking Live and learn how you can become not old Dom, but dominating Dom. How about that?
Dominating Dom. Yeah. At Funnel Hacking Live, I'm going to nerd out. I'm going to be in the hallways. I'm going to be talking to people. I'm going to be like I just, it's such an honor for me to speak on stage. Like I've been dreaming literally every night before I go to bed. I visualize speaking on stage. So I just want to be there for whoever's at Funnel Hacking Live. Find me in the hallways. We'll nerd out. I love you guys.
That's really beautiful. Thanks so much, Dom. We'll see you in September.
Sounds good.
Talk to you soon. Thanks, guys.
Bye.